In the previous video, we learned a few commands. Commands are more like one-way communication with Matlab. You command it to do something and Matlab does it. For example, the CLC command. You command Matlab to clear the command window and it obliges. Functions, on the other hand, are two-way communication. You ask Matlab to do something, often with some specific data, and Matlab returns you some result. For example, you ask square root of a number. Matlab computes the square root using some built-in algorithms and gives you the result. A couple more examples of functions are trigonometric ratio sine and logarithm. Let's see how to use them in Matlab. To compute square root of a number, I have the square root function sqrt. This is how I use the square root function. Some variable s equals to sqrt parenthesis open, the number 2 and parenthesis close. And you see the square root of 2, 1.414 into the variable s. Likewise, I can compute the sine of a number, let's say w equals to sine of pi over 4. Pi is a predefined quantity in Matlab, which is 3.1416 approximately. And that is your sine pi over 4, which is 1 over square root 2 or 0.707 into the variable w. Another example, let's say r equals to log of, let's say, some number 100. The result 4.6 goes into r. Note that this is logarithm to the base e, not the logarithm to base 10. These functions are predefined in Matlab. What that means is the algorithm to carry out the relevant computations has been built into Matlab. When we use a function, we need to follow certain rules and grammar called as syntax. Syntax is specific to every function. Let's see a general syntax of using functions in Matlab. As we saw in the three examples, functions take in an input and give an output. But in general, a function can take in multiple inputs and produce multiple outputs. For example, a function to calculate density of matter will need two inputs, mass and volume. There are three key things in a function: the inputs, outputs, and the name of the function. Every function is known by its name. For example, name of the square root function is sqrt. Name of the logarithm function is log. Using a function is also called as calling a function or invoking a function. The syntax of a function call in general is some output equal to function name, parenthesis open, some input, parenthesis close. So, syntax for a function with two inputs and three outputs would be out1, out2, out3 in a pair of square brackets equals to the name of the function, parenthesis open, input 1, input 2 and parenthesis close. Note that the outputs are listed inside a pair of square brackets, whereas the inputs are listed inside a pair of parentheses. Both inputs and outputs are separated by commas in the list. The words input 1, input 2, output, out1, out2, these are just variable names. The order in which inputs and outputs are listed is important, and this information is provided by the function's documentation. The author of the function will tell you the order of inputs that the function expects you to provide and the order of outputs you should expect from the function.